Greetings from the Isaiah 19 initiative. My name's Dr. Robert Doe, and I'm one of the advisors for the Isaiah 19 committee. I've spent approximately the last 12 years traveling to the Kurdish region of Iraq and to Israel, as well as at the beginning a single trip to Cairo, Egypt. And in that time, I was made aware of the incredible prophecy that's mentioned in Isaiah chapter 19 that says, "In that day there will be a highway from Egypt to Assyria, and the Assyrian will come into Egypt, and the Egyptian into Assyria, and the Egyptians will serve with the Assyrians. In that day Israel will be one of three with Egypt and Assyria, a blessing in the midst of the land, whom the Lord of hosts shall bless, saying, Blessed is Egypt, my people, and Assyria, the work of my hands, and Israel, my inheritance." We're going to be exploring this incredible prophecy that I believe is coming to fruition even as we speak in our time. It's an amazing story that seems to contradict the very nature of the geopolitics of that region today. Other than perhaps as you get to know a little bit more about how this prophecy makes sense in light of the migration of God's chosen nation, Israel, first from Abraham through to Canaan, from Canaan into Egypt, then back into Canaan, and then through Joseph into Egypt again for just over 400 years until the Exodus took place and brought the nation of Israel into the Promised Land. From that time forward, many centuries took precedence, and the kings were placed in leadership over the nation. But disobedience and not heeding the voice of the Lord led to an exile, first of the northern kingdom of Israel, and then later to the Judah and Jerusalem exile known as the Babylonian exile. We'll see how, as we explore this prophecy, that the land of Egypt and Israel and Assyria, also partly known today as the Kurdish area of Iraq, linked together for the purpose of God's plans for his chosen people in the latter days, as proclaimed by this prophecy. Having been 33 different times to the land of the Kurds in Iraq, I was always puzzled by certain sculptures that I would see throughout the land, and I show one of those to you now, a picture of a stump with sprouts starting to come out. It wasn't until later that I was exploring some more of the book of Isaiah that I saw chapter 6, where Isaiah receives his calling, the place where he's putting the coals on his lips for being an unclean man. And then he's saying, "Here I am, send me." And then he says, what should I say? And the Lord tells him to say, "Be ever hearing, but not perceiving. Be ever seeing, but not understanding." Till when? Till the cities are cut down to a tenth, and then once again to a tenth, so that only that which remains is the stump. But the stump, it says, will be a holy seed. It's interesting when you think about that holy seed. It's the Jewish people who were sent to Israel, who then also were sent to Egypt during the time that we've mentioned before. And then finally, during the exiles that were mentioned, they were placed in the land of the Kurds and the Assyrian. And there that holy seed was planted, waiting for today, a day when those ancient stories will come again, and there will be a linking of this highway across the Middle East, contradicting the anger, the violence, the warfare, and the bitterness that exists among peoples in this day and age, and bringing forth God's grace and mercy over those lands. Let us explore this together. Let me be a part of this guide for you. I thank you, and I hope you will enjoy this time of journey together. Amen.